myself to feel it to the depth that I can allow myself to feel it, or that you can feel it. And from there, something really amazing happens, like an opening. And when that opens up, do you see what I'm saying, Jeanne? You open up and you feel your heart again, you feel yourself again. And that's a place that I want to say embracing it, because you can embrace it in that moment and then keep coming back to it, keep embracing it. And one tool, I don't know, I'm just going to bring the tool up now. Jeanne knows about this tool.
Go into the tools.
I'm just going to go into the tools. So there's many different tools. One of them is music. You can use your meditation for opening. I guess try it for yourself. I tell everybody else. One of the tools is to open up, put some music on. Some people may already be doing this. Feel, let go, move your body, stay still, whatever it is. The idea is to move whatever's there. And there's this tool, and I'm going to demonstrate and I'm going to share. This has been my best friend quite a lot. So
yes, I know that. I know where you're going right now.
You know where I'm going with this. If anybody has a hand towel handy, grab one.
Yeah, I'm going to grab mine.
Okay.
Go ahead. Don't stop.
Okay. So the hand towel, most of us have one lying around somewhere. And I actually call it, well, the way it was taught to me is it's called a scream towel. And the purpose of this is, if you're feeling anxiety, if you're feeling fear, if you're feeling intense, if you're feeling lots of energy in your physical body and you don't know how to move it, or you are moving it but you want to integrate it, if you're feeling stuck, I could go on and on. I think you guys kind of get the gist of what I'm saying, but the purpose of this is to get it out. You think about little kids, what do? They throw a tantrum, they're fine. They walk around, but as adults, we don't do that because we push it down. We push it underneath the carpet.
Right.
I can't feel that, whatever.
I know.
Right?
I know. I think some of us throw tantrums once in a while. Maybe
some of us do it.
This is when we were kids, but I still like to throw a tantrum.
Yeah, and that's healthy. We should all do that every when we can. So the towel, what you do is you actually take the hand towel, if you guys can see me, fold it over. So what you're doing is one side, you're going to take this hand right here. You cover your vocal cords. So you're actually protecting your vocal cords and holding them so your vocal cords are really safe. And then I'm going to talk it through, and then we're going to do it. Okay, whoever has a hand towel, but I'm going to show you guys. So it's like this. You cover your mouth and you close your eyes and you scream. But when you scream, before you do, let it come from your gut. And you're going to laugh, which is fine. I resisted this for the longest time. I have to be honest. This is the weirdest thing ever. But it does help. So you close your eyes, and on the count of 3, everybody close your eyes and then just scream into the towel. And keep your eyes closed after you're done. 1, 2, 3. And as your eyes are closed, feel you may be feeling calmer, you may be feeling some energy moving. Sometimes there may be, if there's emotions that were stuck, some people may have tears come. And keeping your eyes closed, whatever is there, just be with it. If it's a sense of peace and calm, be with that. And if your mind is going, you can always scream into the towel again. And as you're sitting there with your eyes closed, feel your heart. Acknowledging whatever it is that's going on.
Don't you love those birds? Mm.
And just sitting with that. And the next part of this is...
Before you move on to the next part, I just want to share.
Yes, please. Yeah, anybody wants to share.
And I just want to say that so what I was experiencing was that as a kid, you know, that anger and frustration that you're allowed to have a little fit. And, you know, as a little kid, you have a fit, but as an adult, we're more civilized or controlled, and we don't do that. And it was allowing that little kid within me to be expressed and to have a voice and to be angry or to be mad or be sad or so. And then, you know, so that was the first part of it, you know, the screaming, because now that I got it, I want to do more. But the other part is I felt after all that, this immense peace, like a deep, deep peace, like a wave coming over, because it was this release of energy. And probably the more you scream, the more you let it out, the more the release that comes afterwards. And that release was a surrender and letting go and opening up. And yeah, it was really, really beautiful. It's really beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeanne. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. You just described it. And for everyone, this is why I do it. But also, as you were speaking, I just remember something for people that have a hard time sleeping at night. If you, which is going to be outside the box, but if you actually throughout the day use the scream towel, it does something. It moves the energy. It moves. You may not even have a reason to scream, but if you just try it a couple times throughout the day, by the time you go to sleep at night, your mind and your energy isn't so contained.
Yeah. I could see that. Right.
So then you will be able to sleep a little bit more. Because throughout the day, as you're doing that, is you're connecting into your heart and whatever's in the way, and it's basically, I like, don't put too many words because I like for people to have their own experiences, because everybody's experience is theirs, but what it's doing is it's shattering breaking the walls, the around the heart, and giving yourself that sacred space so you can go into those places that you just described, Jeannie.
Yeah, I think it's important for us, I'm all about joy and the dolphins and playing, but it's also important, other than just playing, to be angry or to be, to tap into those emotions that we were feeling, because they're legitimate, they have meaning, and there may not be a logical component to them. Like, even if you're angry, you may not know why you're angry, or what triggered the anger, or who made you angry, or whatever it is, or there's no one to blame or shame. It's just you're feeling angry. And or you're feeling sadness, or you're feeling whatever. Maybe you're tapping into the collective. Maybe it's not even yours. Maybe it's something you picked up walking next to someone in the street, and you picked up their fear, or their anger, or their sadness. And so I like that there's not a mental component, like you're trying to figure it out and you're trying to get the answer or the blame and the shame and put the logical step to it. It's just like the pure emotion, the pure energy of anger, frustration, sadness, all of that, and just releasing it. And that's really beautiful.
Thank you for saying that, because what you just said is, I love to laugh and play. We like to be in that state, all the time. But yes, and I find, I was thinking about this other day. I'm just gonna share for me. I started had this concept well, I should be this happy person all the time, or this spiritual person. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm human. I have feelings. I have emotions, and how can I use them? You can actually use your emotions, whatever they are, the whole spectrum, to increase the love, to increase your connection to yourself, to increase your connection to others by feeling them. And I do want to say one thing. It is important to feel what you need to feel, with the intention of letting go, not wallowing. There is that fine line where sometimes people don't want to feel because I don't know if it's true. Some people I've worked with, I should say, it's like, oh, if I open up that emotion, it's never going to end, and I'm going to be stuck in it. It's like, well, you don't have to be stuck in it.
Right. Yeah, I've heard that from other people too, and I think that's part of the fear. And like, your process is not just screaming; it's screaming and then stillness. And that's part of the release, the stillness, and it's giving it time to release. Like, you can get stuck in it if you don't do that second part, that second stillness piece. If you're just screaming and screaming and screaming, and I could see, it can get overwhelming, or you're going to get in this loop and not be able to release it. But the second part of that, which is the stillness, and it's all in the stillness that we come back to oneness. That's what the dolphins have taught me. And in that stillness, then it can be released. It's funny how people are afraid of intense emotions and or getting out of control, like that whole, even just that phrase, getting out of control. And it's not that. The control is what's stopping us from feeling all those emotions, from being these emotional beings. Like, everybody wants, like give Ritalin to your kids because it'll keep them calm and controlled. We don't want them getting out of control. And I love the Native American Indians when they talked about raising their children. We raised our children. We started in the Midwest, and there were a lot of Native American tribes, and we connected with a few. And they talked about how they raised their kids, the old way. Kids would fight, and they would just let them fight instead of go and breaking up the fight. is like they need to experience things, they need to release things, they need to grow and let that out. And so they learn that as a child. And that's something that we don't have an outlet for in our American society, where, you know, it's just that release of that emotion. You know, if they have someone, kid with an intense emotion, the first thing you want to do is shut him down or give him drugs or do something else to calm him down. But let him have that emotion. Let him feel that emotion, as long as he's not hurting himself or anybody else. Allow that emotion to run through us. I remember when they were studying the polar bears, and there were polar bears in captivity, and it was a very traumatic thing. And what did the polar bear do? He shook. You'd see them in the cage, and he's shaking hysterically. And you know, that's what they would do to release all this energy. They, you know, because they had pent up energy. They're stuck in a cage. They're not used to it. They're frustrated. How are you going to release it? Well, their physical bodies would shake, and it seems like a natural thing. It just totally makes sense that you got to release that energy somehow, and physically speaking, however, you know, whatever way it makes sense. Totally makes sense. Yes.
Yeah, and what you're saying, it's the emotions. What you just described is we stop doing that as children, right? So then as adults, it's not okay. And I feel like there's many tools, like you were saying. Some people have a hard time because it's been so shut down for certain people. And I'm not saying everybody, because everybody's different. But it's almost like relearning how to release that, because you just said it. The emotion is energy. So at the end, the emotions aren't moving. Gets where it's stuck in the physical body in many ways too.
Right, and that's where the physical ailments come in. You know, heart problems, throat problems. You know, all of that is because they're not speaking their truth, or they're having heart pain or chest or liver because they're angry and they're not expressing it. You know, all of that is, you know, that's all part of the physical manifestation of these feelings, of these energy, because we know you and I both are energy healers, energy workers, and it's like, if energy wants to move, it wants to move. It doesn't want to be stuck. So having an outlet for that energy to move. And this is a very easy and simple one. I love it, that we can just move the energy.
Yeah, I like, well, it's a simple and practical. That's what was coming to me, is simple and practical. You know, a simple and practical tool that you can use. That's part of the main reason why I shared it. And earlier, it's a great tool also. I don't know about you, Jeannie, but I run across a handful of people, including myself, for a period where I had a hard time calming. It was, you know, and I'd see these people just be able to, you know, just so calm, like so fast. And I went through a period, well, I'm not doing it right. You know, I'm not, how can they calm and I can't? And how is this working? And then I realized that I had so much going on inside. And so for me, having the screen towel or doing a movement meditation, or once I did what you just described, then what happens is there's a natural calm. There's not an effort. It just is. You're not trying to make it happen. It just is. And the next part is a different tool. Is, I call it how I've been taught, I learned it's called the Heart of the Matter meditation. But the different components is what we're going through. And another tool is meditative thinking. So I've released, I've calm, I'm in such a calm place. Now I want to engage my mind to, is there an area of my life that I need to focus on? What is it? You know, like self-questioning. And then the last part is taking an action. So it comes full circle.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do the next part.
Okay. Well, the next part is now that we've done the calming part, yeah? And at the beginning, you want to start with an intention and focus. And the next part is I'm going to integrate something else, and this is about coming into your body. So this is an exercise that I use, and what you're going to do is we're going to kind of scan you yourself are going to scan your body. I'm going to describe it really simply. There's 3 parts, and then we're going to complete this with the last part. Is you place your hands palm on palm like this, and we're going to do 3 positions. You're going to be on your heart, right in the heart center, underneath your collarbone, and right above there. I hope you guys can see me here. Let me see. So it's going to be right here, and I'm going to talk this through with you guys. You're going to close your eyes. I'm going to do it first, and you're going to breathe in the nose and out the mouth. But what I want you to do is, as you're breathing in the nose and out the mouth, you're breathing in the nose, and it's a combination of breath, movement, and energy, but all of your awareness is underneath your hands. And as you breathe in the nose, you're going to expand your heart muscles out in front of you. And as you exhale out the mouth, feel as if a little string is pulling your hands directly through to your spine and out your back. And then in the nose again, and out the mouth. And really feel what it feels like in your heart area. In the nose again, and then out the mouth. Slowly, layer after layer after layer. Now you're going to keep your eyes closed and put your hands on your solar plexus. Right above, underneath there. And now you're going to do the same thing. You're going to breathe in the nose and out the mouth. But now, if you can, breathe into your solar plexus. Feel your hands expand out in front of you. And then exhale through right to your spine. Now this area may be easier or harder, and that's okay. Just stay with it. And now you're going to put your hands on your belly and breathe in the nose and out the mouth into your belly. Being aware of this part of your body as well. And again. And then out the mouth. And one more time. Now, keeping your eyes closed, I want everyone who's here to check in with yourself. Which area did you feel the most peace in, or the most connected? And when you find that area, put your hands back on that area. Now you're going to breathe in the nose and out the mouth into this area, expanding the energy, expanding that feeling. I am connected. Now take your hands to the part of your body that felt the exact opposite of where your hands are at right now. That's it. Breathe into that area. And again. One last thing, take your hand back to the area where you were completely connected. Think of your hands like sponges right now, soaking up all that energy, that connection, that life force. One more breath. And then you're going to take all that energy, that feeling down to the other area. Bring it in the nose and out the mouth. How does that feel?
Great for me. Oh my God. Yeah.
Do you feel more in your body, less in your body? Did you notice the shift from the area that wasn't as connected to more connection or less? Or is it the same? It's all totally fine.
I definitely feel more in my body. And yeah, it was an interesting idea, moving the good energy to the area that needed the energy. I feel a bit of the same, but I think if I did it longer, I would
Yeah.
feel more of a shift. But and anyway, I think it all actually kind of came into balance. I didn't feel like one was really out of balance that much, but so it was kind of subtle, but I did feel everything kind of coming into balance.
That's going to be different for everybody, and that's just a way to bring yourself back into your body as much as you can when you can, and you kind of get the different parts of your body to connect and speak to each other once again, because some of us have a tendency more to be in a different center in our bodies, but once you can connect that, then the whole energy flow will flow through the body with more ease, and the other way around as well. So that was that part.
Yeah, what's that called?
That is stage one. There's something called that's called stage one. The discovery. That's the first part of it. There's 12 stages, and each
Wow.
one. Yeah, and it's all. I want to keep it simple because that'd be a whole nother class. We could be on this for like an hour, but if you noticed, I had you focus on breath, movement, and energy within each area. It's everybody has their own personal recipe. So if you can figure out which one is your lead, if you lead with your breath and then movement and then the energy, does your the area expand more? Then that would be a personal recipe, and that will help your nervous system create. What you're doing is creating more safety within your nervous system, within your body, so that way you can also connect and release what needs to be released. And all of this is going to bring you more back into your heart.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I know that in order for us to get to our heart, we have to feel safe. That's like such a key component, that people are like, well, just get into your heart chakra, or just go there, or just do this. And it's like, well, it's a little uncomfortable for some people, or it brings up some pain, or, you don't feel safe to do that. And that's one of the biggest components, is feeling safe in that process.
You hit it right there, the safety, and creating that foundation to go into your heart. To go, for me, it's always like, there's always deeper I can go. And how can I go deeper? And it's like, there's deeper, and when I deeper and deeper, and as I'm willing, as we are willing to go into that place of uncomfortableness. Sometimes it's uncomfortable, like you said, there's pain, or maybe for some people there isn't pain, but you just finding a way to go deeper, and safety is very important, that foundation. And how can you create that safety so that way you can really fully be in your heart and be in that space?
Must be a confirmation. The bells are ringing.
Okay. Yeah, and as you it's what I was gonna say, what I'm gonna say is, it's a practice. We're practicing. It's and be gentle. It's like not gonna be like a flip of a switch. So if we see it as a practice, then you get tools and you're practicing them, and then the world's still gonna do what the world's gonna do.
Yes.
People are gonna do what they're gonna do.
Look, the bells are going off all over.
The bells are going off, and you're able to stay in your heart and keep coming back into your heart.
Yeah, it's really interesting, the whole concept of safety that I don't think is addressed enough. Like a lot of people, you know, do the spiritual work and they do healing work and they're like, okay, everybody go down your heart chakra, you know, and they, let's create a safe zone is like one of the first things that I do also with my healing and everything else. Let's create a bubble of pink and green healing and loving energy is usually what I will say to hold that entering and allowing this vibration to be with us, to allowing this vibration. We're not going to be able to open our heart chakra unless we are fully in a place that is a contained bubble that is like, you know, that's why we love Dolphin Touch where we are right now so much, is because yes, it is a safe environment. And I know some of your sessions too can get, you know, a little hairy, or people screaming or releasing or letting go, and you know, and they're like, whoa, there's something going on over there, but you know but you know, it's all good. And you know, we're not going to be in judgment or whatever. It's like people need to know that they can fully express. And that's the same with relationships. And especially with what's going on right now with the COVID-19, it's like we need to feel safe. That's what it's all about right now. Let's feel safe. Just leaving the house doesn't feel safe to certain people, you know. Just going to the store, even just today, I went to the supermarket, and it was a stressful situation. You know, you had at first I had to remember to put my mask on, and then you know my gloves, because you know you're touching things, and to wipe things down, and then there are these long lines, and everybody's 6 feet away, and you're trying to give people space, and everything takes so much longer than it used to. You know, it's a long process. So you know, it's like being safe is so important right now. I think it's one of the most important things. So exactly what you said, I'd love to hear more about the whole safety approach to this type of healing.
Safety is the approach to it. It's to me, it's as when I'm working with people, but just in general, it's even in friendships or communications and in personal relationships. I feel like safety is important. And safety, when you create that container that you were describing, that container allows for people to go into a different layer of accessing what's inside that hasn't been released, or that they've maybe what's the word, only gotten to a certain place. Yeah, like, oh, I've done X, Y, and Z, I've done these things, okay, great. And then they find that it just hasn't really been safe enough to finally get to the last core. And the way to create the safety, there's many different ways. Is that what you were asking, Jeannie? Like,
yeah. I mean, you know, I know it's different for each person.
Yes.
And I know that it's really an important component to your work.
Yeah.
And I've seen you work with people, and I've seen them open up and, you know, scream, there's a screaming towel or whatever they need to do. And you created that safety space. And I wanted to just talk about how you do that. How do you think you create that space?
How do I think I create that space? I think that that's a good question, because I don't really think about it, you know.
You can chat with, you know, maybe I'm putting you on the spot.
No, you're not. It's actually good. The way that no, that's a good question, is the way that I create the space is, I'm able to create that space. Honestly, it feels like because of the examples that I've had before me, and the way that I've seen that it's possible, And in order to create the space, it's not about me in any way, shape, or form. I'm holding the space for the person or the people. I'm in my heart. I'm not honestly attached to how it should go. And I have no expectation of the person. I let them. It's interesting. So you said the safety, and you've heard about it. People just start to open up the way that they haven't with other people. And I feel like from the feedback I've gotten, the way that I create that is, I don't want to get emotional, but the feeling for me is I actually have nothing but love for the people. I don't have any judgment. I'm not expecting it to go a certain way. And I purely it's holding space for them to connect into their hearts and helping guide them to whatever it is. So sometimes I'll have somebody that comes in for that's why I say I use different modalities, because someone may come in, oh, I want a Reiki session, right? And then they'll start talking, and there's just all this stuff going on. And then I'm able to, then it's like, well, how about, then I'll bring up a scream towel, and they're like, scream towel? But that's what they need. So to create the safety is those things that I just mentioned, and actually just really holding the space just from my heart. I think that's just the way I would sum it up. And again, it's not in any way, shape, or form about me. It's about them, and it's giving. I'm just.
You're in a place of giving.
I'm in a place of giving, and a place of trust, and a place of giving and trust, and compassion. Because I truly don't know what's going on with this person, and I am not there to even say this way is the way it's going to work. I never tell people that. It's, find what works for you. Everybody's so different in this world. Each of us needs one thing. Somebody might need something else. So find what works with you, what resonates with you, is what I hold the space for.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, I love it.
For them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I do the same with my Dolphin Energetics in the ocean, because I never know. People have so many fears with water and being in the water and what they experience and what they, and they have whatever their experience is. Somebody's going to be screaming, somebody's going to be shaking, somebody's going to be super stiff, and you let everybody. And I think that what I sense from you is also what I see in myself, is that you're non-judgmental. And people feel safe in that space because it's a non-judgmental space. They know they can be themselves, they can cry, they can scream, they can laugh, they can be angry, whatever it is, that you're gonna not judge them, that you're gonna hold the space for them to be who they are, their true authentic self, and you're just there allowing them to connect with that more, connect with their true sense more. So you're in service to them and their experience, and you're being totally present with them in that moment.
Thank you, Jeannie. You just said the key word that one thing that many things you just said is, I'm just in service. That's really what it is. But in the midst of it. And that's
probably why, people have so many and they come back for more.
I'm like, okay, well, I didn't expect that was going to happen. And that's something that happens,
So I wanted to share, so we only did step one. I mean, there's a lot of steps to this process. And we are looking to continue and do a little class that probably take an hour and a half that we're looking at. And if you know, if you're listening to this and it's something that resonates with you and you want to learn more about it, we invite you to come back and play with us in a more structured atmosphere where we're going to talk about embracing your heart. We're going to go over some techniques. Opie, what do you want to share about what we'd like to do in that class?
What we'd like to also add to that is I'm actually going to be sharing some tools that everybody can use, and really about embracing your heart. And I'm going to use the word go deeper into this whole thing. And I'm not sure how it's going to unfold, but I get the feeling maybe even if we have questions and answers, like so people can see what it looks like, you know, to guide somebody through maybe a block, and that way they can walk away with something that's practical within that class.
Nice. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I think it's going to be really amazing, and you'll be sharing your point of view, I'll be sharing mine, and so we'll be doing that May 18th.
May 18th, yeah.
Yep, at 2:30. If you would like to join us, we'll give the link below. And we had somebody join the call who's Earth, Sea, and Moon. Do you know who that is?
I think that's Magdi.
Hey, Magdi. Should we unmute her and invite her in? Magdi, is that you?
Yeah, it is.
Hey.
Can you hear me? Opie invited me.
Yeah, I'm glad she did. I'm glad she did. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good, good.
I saw her earlier, so I'm not going to ask how she's doing.
Well,
she was saying she was outside her comfort zone doing this, but you know, that's what's all about here.
Yep, Magdi knows I am. There was one thing, Jeannie, I know we're going to wrap up here, but when we're ready, I just wanted to play one song and leave this with a song, if that's okay.
Oh, that'd be awesome. And why don't you tell everybody how they can contact you before you do that, and then do the song.
Okay. You guys can contact me. I'll give my email address. It's opinderd@gmail.com. That would be the best way to contact me. Or on Facebook, you can message me as well.
Okay, great. All right, and we'll post the links underneath. All right. Yeah, so what is this song you're gonna do?
It's a song that it's called "You Are Loved." Some people may have heard it or not, but I want to leave everyone with this song and just let it move you, and let it touch your heart, however that looks. And like I said, it's different for everyone. See if I can get it on. Oh, there might be a little commercial break. Hold on. I'm gonna mute myself for a second.
I just want to say these conscious conversations will be happening on let's see, Tuesdays, 3:00 Hawaiian time. Right now it's 6:00 Pacific time, and I think 9:00 New York time, Eastern Standard Time. I'm not sure what it is in Australia, but anyway, so join us Tuesdays, 3:00 here on Facebook. Yeah.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
And if you guys want to close your eyes, you can.
Dream your sweet dreams till your soul is released. Know you are loved. Rest in peace. Dream your sweet dreams till your soul is released. Beloved child, my heart is yours. Beloved child, go out and open doors with your love, with your faith, with your compassion, with your grace, oh, with your grace. Beloved child, you are the light of the world. Beloved child, go out, spread light to the world. Be strong, be kind, be brave. Know your mind, know that you're divine. Know that it's alright to be afraid. Know that you are loved. Rest in peace. Dream your sweet dreams till your soul is released. Know you are loved. Rest in peace. Dream your sweet dreams till your soul is released.
It was really beautiful. I'm going to challenge you next time to learn the words.
You don't want me singing.
Oh, yes, we do. Get Magdi in on this, and we'll get everybody. Yep, Amira, Jolene. Yeah, we'll get him.
Oh, we'll do a whole team thing. Okay, that works. I'll do background. I'll let you ladies sing.
You could do the dancing. I know you.
Yeah, I'll be the background.
All right, I am. Let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna end this recording. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, everybody. Namaste.
Namaste.
I thank you all. Dolphin Touch Wellness Center, dolphintouch.org, and we will put the information below the video to connect in with us. And we will be sharing this also on Facebook and everywhere else. We'll see you on the 18th. Hui hou, everybody. Aloha from Hawaii.